Theory in a nutshell, simple time rests. So here are your rests that we use in simple time. The chart here shows you your note and the corresponding rest. Whole, half, quarter, 8th, 16th, and 32nd. Yes, there is a 64th rest, but didn't add that here because we don't really use it at the beginning levels anyway. Okay, and on the staff, they look like this. You've got your whole rest, which hangs down from the D line if you're in the treble clef into that C space. So it's like a hole in that space. And the hat, or the half rest, the hat sits on the B line. This is our quarter rest, and people have trouble writing this one. It's kind of like drawing them zig, zag, zig, C. So zig, zag, zig, C. Then we have our 8th, 16th, and 32nd that all look similar. They have this little doodad, so a little circle, and then you make a line down from that one. Looks like a 7. You have 2 of these, and then you have 3 of these, and it does make a difference whether what space they're in. So it starts with the C space, C and A, C, A, and E. Okay, you can't put rest just anywhere you want to. They have to be in specific places. All right, so our time signatures, I'm hoping that you know them already, that we're going to use for simple time is our, 2 8s, 3 8s, 4 8s. Of course, the top note meaning how many beats, and the bottom note meaning what type of beats. So 2 8s would have 2 8th note beats in a bar. We have 2 4 3 4 4 4, 2 2 3 2 4 2. Okay, so those are the times we're going to be looking at, usually in the more basic theory levels. For example, RCM level 5. Okay, so now of course they're not always 8th notes here and quarter notes. These things can be subdivided. You might have 2 8s here, you might have 16th notes, but there are 4 basic quarter note beats in a 4/4 bar. Okay. Now, so notice here, though, before I leave this, that the top notes are always 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, and the bottoms are 8, 4, and 2, because you've got 8th note, quarter notes, and half note beats. Okay, now rest rules. These are very important. Okay, a whole rest has 2 functions. I'll explain one of them later, but right now, one is to show an empty bar of any time signature. It doesn't matter if it's 3 2 4 4 3 8 4 2, whatever. It shows an empty bar of any time signature. And I will tell this to my students, and they're like, I know that they're like, yeah, okay, I get that. But they go home and do their homework, and I'll come back and I'll see a 2/4 bar with a hat in it, with a half rest as a whole bar. They've forgotten that the whole rest has 2 functions. One is to show an empty bar of any time signature. Now, this next rule is really, really important. Okay, you cannot combine beats 2 and 3 into a larger rest. Why? Because beat 2 is always a weak beat. If you think about it, 1 2 3 4, strong, weak, medium, weak, strong, weak, medium, weak, and 3 4, it's like 1 2 3, strong, weak, weak. It's always a weak beat. So you cannot combine make a larger rest starting on second beat because it's always a weak beat. But you must always combine empty beats 1 and 2 as well as 3 and 4. So 1 and 2, that's why I tell my students they love each other. 3 and 4, they love each other. But beats 2 and 3, mortal enemies. Okay? Now here is an incorrect using of the rests. Use of the rests. So you've got 4 quarter note beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 of 3 have been put together. You cannot do that. You must separate them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Separate them. Here, and same with in 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Cannot put 2 and 3 together. 1, 2, 3. Keep them separated. In 4, 4, for example, you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 and 4, they love each other. Keep them together. 1 and 2, love each other. 3 has to remain separate. You can't put 1, 2, 3 together. Okay? 1 and 2, or 3 and 4 can go together. And 3, 4, here's your 1, 2, 3. Yay. In 4, 2, you've got 4 half notes. These last 2 half notes, which are 3 and 4, can be put together to make a whole rest. This is your other function of the whole rest. You find it in 4, 2, and you can find it in 3, 2 if you put the first 2 beats together. 1, 2, if you have to. 3. So those are the 2 places you're going to find a whole rest as the other function, other than the empty bar of any time signature. Okay, 2 and 3, mortal enemies. Now, always fill in your rests from small to large. So this first one is incorrect. The second one is correct. I'll show you why. Okay, 16th and 16th equal an eighth. Add an eighth, you've got your first quarter. And I find using circles can be very helpful. Okay, there's your second. 2 and 3 are not together. They're kept separate. And here's your fourth beat. So over here, well, it's a 16th and an eighth and a 16th. 2 16ths and an eighth equal quarter. Yeah, they do. But not like this. Because if you think about it, this quarter note rest can be subdivided into 4 16th notes. So even here, you've got to keep 2 and 3 apart. That would be 1, 2, and 3, 4. Right? I've subdivided that into 16th notes. You can't do that. You have to work like this from small to large. 16th plus 16th equals an eighth, plus an eighth equals a quarter. Okay? So it's kind of backwards of this one because your 16th note's at the end of the beat, not at the beginning of the beat. Another thing I suggest to people is write what you're trying to do up on top, like 4 quarter notes like that. And then you can like, okay, I got that one. Okay, I got that one. You can use circles. You can write them on top. Anything that helps you figure out your subdivisions, your divisions, your beats, which ones you're working with. Okay? Now, don't use dotted rest in simple time. And somebody out there is probably saying, well, but you know, there are a few times you can do that. You know what? Some people say you can, but the thing is, what I'm teaching you here is the most accepted way of doing it, or you're never going to make a mistake with this, right? So if you don't use any dotted rest in simple time, you'll never make a mistake with it. And this would be a completely incorrect way of using one, by the way. So do not use dotted rest in simple time. It just takes that whole worry about how do I use them, or can I use them, or can I even use them in simple time? Just don't. And then you'll never make a mistake. Okay? I mean, you might make mistakes, but you won't make a mistake by using dotted rest in simple time. That won't be a mistake. Okay? Don't use dotted rest in simple time. Eighth and eighth equals a quarter. 2, 3, and there's your other quarter. Great. Perfect. Wonderful. Don't use dotted rest in simple time. Save them for compound time. And that's another video. The last thing is people say, well, what's this C? What's this C with the line through it? Well, common and cut time. This is called common time, and it is the same as 4/4. It is 4/4. It's just another way of writing it out on the staff. And cut time is the same as 2/2. Okay, so common time is 4/4. Cut time is 2/2. Hope this helped.